to the Footy Consultancy podcast. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and if you like our content, please show us and give us a big thumbs up. I'm joined today by Ellie Paris, who you may recognise from BT Sport's Ultimate Goal, which aired last summer. It was an amazing programme that was tasked with trying to find the female footballers that had the it factor and go on and make it pro. So we're very happy to have you here today, Ellie.
Thanks for having me, Lauren.
Well, first off, how's it going? How have you been over COVID and everything?
Yeah, getting there. I mean, it's obviously been difficult not being able to play football, get out there and be with the girls all the time. But I think a lot of us are doing our best to, keep fit individually, go on runs, make the most of the sunshine at the minute, which has been quite good. And yeah, just try and stay motivated until we can get back training.
Brilliant. And so you're coming back next month. How are you feeling about getting back to football?
I can't wait, to be fair. I mean, I've been quite lucky because my manager and myself and some other people have created this indoor facility now, which was once a warehouse. So we've been coming here a couple of times a week, been putting on some one-to-one sessions with technical and fitness detail, really. So hopefully, come April, we should be all right, at least as fit as we can be, to get back training. Yeah.
Definitely. And so I'm at, as you know, National League sort of standard as well. So I think in these leagues it makes all the difference having that physical ability, because some teams just haven't got into the 90 minutes. And if you can get back and do that, you guys will be absolutely fine.
Yeah, absolutely. I learned that fitness is such a huge part of the game when I was at Crystal Palace. I remember, I think it was my second pre-season, and I learned the hard way from the first one that, I wasn't fit at all in the first pre-season, and I thought, do you know what, I've just got to work really hard. And that second pre-season, I was probably the fittest I've ever been, and I was like 10 times better player. And I think that's probably what's given me the motivation over this lockdown to just keep my fitness up and make sure I'm sharp when I go back, because it will just show as soon as we get back to training amongst the team. I don't want to be one of the ones that's that's struggling. So yeah, fitness is huge in football.
So one of the things we like to ask when we have people on is, what's their it factor? What is it that sets you apart as a player? Would you say it's your fitness, or is there another part of your game you think that's what people notice about me, other than your small feet, of course?
Leave my little feet alone. My it factor, I mean, I wouldn't say it's fitness, but as a right wing back, I have to have the motivation to make a lot of forward runs and a lot of recovery runs. So I think for me, I love getting up the pitch and being able to deliver a crossing or get an assist for a goal. So I think I'd say my it factor is just being creative, I suppose, attacking on the wing. I mean, fitness is a huge part of that as a right wing back. If any of you out there are right wing backs or left wing backs, it's such a difficult position. But yeah, I'd say just the motivation just to get up the pitch and create things, definitely.
Nice. Is that wing back position something you've come to later in life?
Oh, absolutely. So I think since I started playing football, I've always been on the right hand side of the pitch as like a right midfielder. But I think as the game's progressed and modernised into this sort of 4-3-3 formation, I've realised that I'm actually, not that I'm very defensive as a player, but I think as a right wing back, it allows me to get forward more and be more involved than I would usually just as a right midfielder, which doesn't really make any sense. And it took me a while to get used to it once I made that transition, but I think that's definitely the position for me. If you put me in the middle of the field, which my manager's done a couple of times, absolutely lost. So yeah, right wing back is definitely, I think, what I was made to do.
Love that. I think in the game recently we've seen that. I'm an Arsenal fan, so if I look at the men's game with like Tierney, the way he's overlapping, whipping the ball in, you can see how you can bring that creative flair and really make an impact on the pitch from that position.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a massive Chelsea fan, so Reece James was definitely someone that I looked up to. I think when I started that position, you had the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold, Tariq Lamptey now at Brighton, brilliant player. And I think one of their main specialities is putting a cross into the box.
Definitely.
Which I like to think I've developed over the last couple of years or so, because I think that's one of the main strengths of that position. So, like I said, as the game has sort of grown into this sort of quicker, it's a lot quicker now, football, I think, nowadays, compared to when we used to watch it when we was younger. So, yeah, I've got a few good wing backs to look up to, definitely.
I feel like the stats speak for themselves. I've seen you've got a few goals this season, right?
I think 3 I've got.
3?
Yeah.
From a wing back, that's pretty good going.
It's not too bad. I mean, it's funny because it's a bit of an ongoing joke within my team at Welling. I never really score. But me and Frankie, my left back, we like to have a little competition every match.
So you can get your feet.
With mostly assists, but sometimes goals as well. So if she assists a goal, her immediate reaction is just to look at me like,
I love that inter-team
Yeah.
competition.
So I think the fact that we're quite similar players, either side of the pitch, works really well.
Could you drop us some stats on assists? Have you got that down?
Oh, I think I've got 3 goals this season, I'm pretty sure. It might be more.
We will check that.
Yeah, if we're including pre-season games, maybe a couple more. But assists, I'm going to say at least 10.
Oh.
I've done quite well this year with assists. I actually much prefer assisting than scoring.
And what about Frankie?
You
got to say less.
Frankie's,
you got to say less.
Frankie's scored a lot more.
You got to call
than
her
me.
out on the assist though. Come
Yeah.
on.
But assists, I don't know. I think we're fairly even. Maybe more me, but she's got more goals, so I
We'll
can't really.
check. We'll fact check that. So Welling, I find really interesting. So obviously, me and you both grew up around Bromley, that sort of area, and we were having that chat before about opportunities for young girls here. I was lucky. I went to the Charlton Academy when I was younger, and you kind of spoke a bit about your challenges moving around and trying to find a team. But with Welling, what is it that you're trying to create there for young girls?
Yeah, so at Welling United, there's never been any girl teams, female teams, up until last summer. So as I went to the trials, I think it was June, July time last year, I saw it on social media, and I was looking for a team at the time, and I thought, yeah, why not? It looks good. The weather was great. The trials were going to be at the men's stadium. Got nothing to lose. Immediately loved the setup. There was a lot of people there, a lot of coaches. It just seemed really professional, considering it was this brand new women's team. So, really enjoyed the session. Danny put on a great session. I thought, yeah, this seems like a good place to be, where I can develop. But at the end of it, Danny approached me and asked if I coached myself. So I've been in and out of football coaching since I left school, really. So almost 10 years now, which is a bit scary to say. But he took me under his wing. I was really interested to get back coaching, with the vision that he has of the club. So we've now grown the women's side of things, massively within the space of not even a year. So we've got teams ranging from, we've got an under-9s girls team now, all the way up to under 14s, under 13s. So I head coach the under 11s girls. I've got them. Also on a Saturday morning we have like a pre-academy. So from any age to like 4 till 8 years old, and then hopefully we feed them into, the teams. So, with that all bearing all that in mind, it's something that I'd love to be a part of and to see how much it's grown and just give girls the opportunity, really, because like we said before, there was no girls teams around when we were younger. So yeah, come September we'll have the scholarship programme. So girls aged between 15 and 17, they'll have the opportunity to play football with us at their schools alongside their studies. So I think that's a really exciting thing to have. I don't think there's many around this area, to be fair, and it's something I would have loved when I was younger. So yeah, it's really growing, and we've got a lot of girls now that really enjoy being a part of Welling, and it's almost like a family, to be fair. A lot of the girls, it's really nice to see. So with my age group in particular, the under 11s, they're all starting secondary school in September, and on our little group chat they were all saying, all the parents were discussing, the schools they're going to.
Aww.
And a few of them were actually going to the same secondary school, and I just think, that's so nice that they're going to know each other and just build better friendships and have that sort of moving forward whilst they're at school. So yeah, there's just so many benefits from creating what we've created.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that idea of family is more important than ever now with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
I've certainly felt with my club, just being able to connect over this period has been so important.
Yeah.
Obviously, I said it in the intro, we've got to talk about Ultimate Goal.
Yes.
So
we must.
I loved it. For anyone who didn't watch it, do you want to just give us a flavour of what Ultimate Goal was all about?
Yeah, cool. So basically, I saw this show advertised on social media. A chance to find the next female football star. To spend 2 weeks at St George's Park, to be trained every day by elite coaches and sort of spend every day as a professional footballer.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, absolute no-brainer. I applied for it. I wasn't expecting anything to come back, and initially they did actually say no to me, which didn't surprise me because I had really high expectations of the standard that they were looking for. Mm-hmm. So anyway, that was all fine. Sunday evening, just finished a football game at Welling, just had a roast dinner, could have almost fell asleep, and then my phone rings and they said, look Ellie, we've got a few spaces to fill, with the travel restrictions from COVID, are you still available? And I was like, yes, yes I am. Pack your bags, we've booked you a train at 7 o'clock in the morning. I was like, oh my word, my mind was going crazy. I was like, what do I do? So yeah, I didn't really have time to think about it, just got all my stuff that I needed and off I went. But
did you get any sleep that night?
Do you know what? I actually fell asleep quite quickly because I think I was so excited I drained myself.
Yeah.
But honestly, absolutely life-changing experience. I got there and it was quite comforting because the first thing that happened when we arrived, we was all put into this room together, all strangers, 30 of us, and we had to have COVID tests. So we all took a test whilst trying to socialise, I suppose, and break the ice. And then we were sent to our hotel rooms for 2 days, I think it was, we had to isolate for. So that was when I didn't get sleep. So that was like, I'm at St George's Park, surrounded by the likes of Eni Luco and Rachel Brown-Finnis, thinking, should I make friends with these girls? Are they my competition?
Yeah, of course.
Am I going to be good enough? Like, do I deserve to be here? So that's when I didn't get any sleep. But anyway, as soon as the first day started, and thankfully everyone had negative tests, we met the coaches, we met Rosie and Molly. They made us feel really, really comfortable. And it was like, well, yeah, let's get on the pitch sort of thing. So I think once we had that first day of playing together, it sort of relaxed everyone, because I think there was so much tension in ourselves and nervousness. We just needed to sort of get that first day out of the way and get used to the cameras as well, obviously, which is very new to me. But something I'm comfortable with now, apparently.
Absolute pro.
But yeah.
I feel like there's definitely some advice you can give there, because it's like turning up for a trial, but with 30 cameras there as well. How did you manage that?
Yeah, definitely. I think for me, I'm quite lucky because in high pressure situations, I tend to focus a lot more. So, for example, if I turned up that day and I knew maybe a few of the girls would have felt a bit more comfortable, I don't think I would have played as well as I did, because I had to have that focus and there was that little bit of added pressure. I just sort of almost mature in a way, which is quite rare. But yeah, I think because of that, I almost stepped up my game a bit. And when you sort of put less pressure on yourself, I think you can relax a bit more and play better. You just have to just trust what you have and just enjoy it, really.
Yeah,
So.
I think that's a really important message, trusting what you have. And it worked out well for you. You got through to the final bit of the show. So for those who didn't know, half the girls went home after week one, half were kept, and they got to compete in the final game. What was it like stepping out on that pitch in the final game?
Oh,
In front of scouts as well, I should say.
To be fair, I think that's when I did feel the nerves a little bit. You know, it'd been 2 weeks that we've been together, trained together, got to know each other a lot more. So as a group, we were definitely a lot more comfortable. And by then, we were fine with the cameras and the crew and stuff like that. But I think playing another team and having the scouts there, it was all a bit new. And we were like, wow, okay. But I think we all just came together in that end game. And what really made the difference was the morning before the game, we had quite an intimate psychological session where we spoke about struggles that women face in football, and it got really deep, and a lot of us shared a lot of emotional things with each other, and I think that just bonded us, and it made us play a lot better in the last game. So yeah, as much as that was quite scary and daunting, I think the comfort came from just us knowing that we were all there together and we weren't really competing for ourselves. We were just wanted to play well for the team and shine as a team instead of individually, and that's why we did so well.
That's brilliant. I think it shows how quickly a team can form, and you guys were fantastic in that final game.
Yeah.
I've got to ask, I think the point I was most jealous of when I was watching it is when you were coached by Freddie Ljungberg. He's an absolute idol of mine.
Oh yeah, Arsenal.
I know, I was so jealous. I was like, damn. But like, in terms of them coaches you had come in, you had Freddie Ljungberg, Rio Ferdinand, Peter Crouch. There's a brilliant picture of Ellie and Peter Crouch. You have to see if you go check out her Instagram. Out of all them coaches that come in, obviously I haven't even mentioned the amazing women's players you had come in. Who was it that delivered the best session? Who did you get the most from?
That's such a hard question, and people have asked me that a lot since the show. Freddie Ljungberg, by the way, nicest man I've probably ever met in my whole life.
So you're making it worse.
Honestly, absolute gentleman. When we finished filming, he went round to all of us, 30-odd girls, all of the crew, and shook everyone's hand and said, thank you for having me. And it was just like, he didn't need to do that. Anyway.
Watching his session as well, like you could see the way you girls were reacting to it when he delivered it. And when he put on his boots and got in the back line and was in defence of you, I was dying.
I couldn't believe it. You know, this is the thing, he was like the best coach, he gave the best advice, and he just really got involved. But I think for me personally, out of all of the masterclasses, I think the person I got the most from was probably Faye White, which surprises me now as I say it, but for her, she was obviously England captain, defender, female. I think I just related a lot more to her, because back at Crystal Palace I was the captain there, and it just made me realise how imperative that having that is, and I don't think I realised at the time. But yeah, Faye White, she was really meticulous with working as us as a back four, because when Faye came in, it was after they'd cut us, so we were working as a sort of team then, and yeah, she just gave really sound advice as a defender that really sort of helped me moving forwards and getting used to my new position as right wing back.
Yeah, you're ready for the season.
But yeah, really lovely woman, really, really nice lady, and I think that's probably who I got the most from. Yeah.
Brilliant. And kind of just a final question on ultimate goal. You were in such a unique position, like you've already spoke about, being in St George's Park, being in that elite facility, having psychologists, external coaches. What do you think it is as a player in terms of support you need to succeed at that level and make it to the elite levels?
I think since the show, it was the way everyone felt actually after the couple of weeks. The most important thing I think to make it as a professional player is strong mentality. So much of that 2 weeks was believing in yourself, trusting your talent, and just being confident enough to know what you can achieve. Because if you go to a game and you think you're going to have a bad game, you're going to have a bad game. You have to believe that you're a good player. You have to believe that you can work hard and improve, because everyone can improve every day. You really have to believe it, because there's going to be so many times in your life where people are going to say you're not good enough, or they're going to doubt you. But as long as you believe it yourself and you know what you have, then I don't think anyone can stop you. That's definitely what I've learnt from Ultimate Goal anyway, because even before the show, I was told no. They said no to me, and I was like, well, okay, that's fine. Obviously, I'm not good enough. But then I got there, and then I got through to the next stage, and then I was in the starting 11. So it was like, why was I ever doubting myself, you know? And I think the more I believed I was a good player for those 2 weeks, the better I played. And the reason that we all got close was because we shared so many emotions, and we delved deeply into all of our mentalities and shared that. So you really have to be mentally strong. No, I don't think it matters how talented you are or hardworking you are. You need to be mentally strong.
Definitely. I think that's such an important message, not only for footballers, but anyone involved in sport.
Absolutely.
You're constantly coming across them setbacks, and it's how you deal with it. So that's a great way to end it. Thank you again for joining us, Ellie.
No, thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching. As I said, please do like and subscribe. That's not the end of Ellie Paris content for you, though. We're going to do some skills, some sort of sessions. Maybe she'll set a challenge, who knows. So, yeah, make sure you subscribe so you catch all of that.
Cool.
Decent. Smashed it.